I got it made, you never delay. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. I got it made for real. It's been like God in here. Bitch got a grace appeal. They stick with a note and what else am I supposed to feel? Don't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I'm on NFL. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange the chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it up.
I ain't too grand to take away. This girl talking gotta make them feel I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper hand, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. Or the allure, spirit so pure, from Father to Son like the Holy Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Why won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. It is yours truly, Jazzy D Mills, and I am so excited about this special guest that I have with you. You see him on the screen, but before I get into introducing who this wonderful, phenomenal gentleman is, I want to welcome you back to the F.L.Y Zone. Are you still flying out of the zone? Are you still flying out here wondering around what you got going on in your life? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe and get into the F.L.Y Lounge, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. You know, we are growing, healing, walking in our destiny, and doing what God has called us to be. So, y'all know I don't like to prolong no time. You see, I ain't sitting here by myself. This man got a whole lot going on out here in this world. He is a phenomenal author. He is an entrepreneur. He is the founder of two, not one, but two nonprofit organizations. So I can't take up his time. And so, but we're going to be talking to none other than Mr. Tony Lynch. He is the author of, one of the authors of Men Grieve Too, a groundbreaking book that is shedding lights on the often overlooking journey of male grief. You know, in a world, we know that men are taught to be strong, suppress their pain, suffer in silence, and all the things, right? But we have so many phenomenal men that are out here breaking barriers and offering their voice to show men that it is okay to grieve out loud, to grieve in silence, to grieve in a vulnerable, to be vulnerable, and also exploring the emotional depths of their grief, the impact of unspoken sorrow, and get on a path towards healing. So, my men, if you have experienced loss firsthand, if you've seen it, you've been a part of it, or you even dealt a portion of loss, you want to make sure you tune in tonight to this episode with none other than Mr. Tony Lynch. Hey, Mr. Tony, how are you?
How you doing, Jazz? Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I'm excited about what we're going to be, talking about tonight. I thank you for one. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for fitting me into your already busy schedule of everything that you have going on. I don't take it lightly. I am grateful. And I know that this is going to be a healing and a wonderful testimony that so many people will be able to get something from. So with that being said, are you ready to get started on tonight?
Girl, you had me at hello.
So my question for you is, can you tell a little bit, tell us about who Tony is?
Yeah, Tony's just an ordinary guy that found purpose in my grief, and wanted to serve other men, wanted to connect with other men, to provide a space and an atmosphere for us to not only learn how to articulate the things that we were going through, but also a space where we can be supported by other men that have gone through similar things after loss, and to be heard, to be validated, to build, a brotherhood that not only extends, outside of the group, but extends into their lives as well, because healing takes time. But also as a man, it's a way for us to be able to connect with each other on a deeper level and and be supported.
Mm-hmm. That is so true, because one of the things that I say, healing begins with when we choose to see, speak, and support not only one another, but also ourselves. So,
Mhm.
with that being said, like in your moments of like deep sorrow, going through the things that you've been through, I know we spoke previously and briefly before the show started, you know, a lot of men wrestle with so many regrets, words that were left unsaid, actions that they took or even did not take. How were you able, or how are you able to resolve like any guilt that may shape the way men grieve, or how were you able to forgive yourselves for those things?
I began to hold myself accountable
Mm,
for the things that I had done in my past, right? And realizing that my life worked out for me, right? It didn't just happen to me, it worked
mhm,
out for me. So the experiences and things like that, I had to really dive into what that looked like for me, right? So
mhm,
there was a lot of shame, there was a lot of guilt, there was a lot of saying like, hey, it's okay. It's okay
yes,
to not be okay, Tony. You know what I'm saying? All of these things that have happened to you, it was for the benefit for other people.
mhm,
Now, having a mindset and switching it around like that took a lot of time, right? It took a lot of grace, it took a lot of forgiveness, a lot of patience, right? A lot of learning how to speak or articulate and understand not only my emotions, but everything that came along with that and go, wow, I'm a human being.
mhm,
I'm equipped with these things.
mhm,
Let me go ahead and explore these things. And I had to look outside the realm of the basics like anger, depression, anxiety, things like that, and had to look at it and say, there's so much more to this that I would love to explore and understand
mhm,
on a deeper level. And what it
mhm.
did, it opened up my eyes to go, I am not the only one.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one. So those were some basic steps that I took. The rest of it, the healing and things like that, took a little bit extra because I
Mhm,
needed to pinpoint where it started.
mhm.
That takes you going backwards in your life through everything that you've ever gone through. So there's a lot of things that may trigger you, things like
Mhm.
that. But in order to get down to the root cause of it and then being able to grow from there.
Right. So with grief being often described as the love with nowhere to go per se, right? In
Mhm.
your own experience, through the stories that you've encountered, where does a grieving man place his love when a person that he's lost is no longer there?
Deep down inside himself.
Mm,
Deep down inside himself. Because when you don't understand what you're going through, you get taught that you it's not okay for you to have these emotions. We bury it, right? And
mhm,
it is trapped inside of us. And so what may look like a very messy situation to you is that man trying to figure out those emotions because it's like a foreign love language no one speaks. And so, in order for us to maintain the identity of our masculinity, we have to mask those things so we don't appear weak to other people.
mm,
The hardest thing that a man would do is be vulnerable.
mhm,
So, not only do we get taught not to be this way, but society adds on top of there. And when you have all of those things compiled on top of one another, it's a hard road to navigate.
mhm.
So yeah, we bury that stuff deep down inside, and the what you may see, your perception of what you may see, may not be the reality of what's actually going on.
Right. So with the word vulnerable, because we use that word so much, just like the
Mhm.
word narcissistic and manifesting. But what we often fail to realize is that the word vulnerable means you're opening yourself up to be
Mhm.
attacked. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? With
Mhm.
men, that is such a common word that can be used, because men feel like if I open myself up, if I be, vulnerable, if I show my emotions, if I cry in front of a person, that I can be attacked for showing those emotions. I can be attacked for being sensitive, or I can be attacked for being, for crying, and, ridicule for being weak because I'm showing my emotional side. How do you feel as a woman? What advice can you give women that can help us in the field of not attacking a man because he's showing his sensitivity or he's showing his emotions? What would be your advice to females to, on how to not do that and how to help a man navigate his feelings, his emotions, and to feel,
Take your own advice. Take your own advice. Reason why I say that, because women want somebody that they can talk to. They want to be able to open up and saying, to say, hey, this is what's going on with me. And you want us to be able to listen to you, right?
Right.
Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
So how come you can't extend that courtesy to us?
Yeah.
Right. If you're going to invite me into your space and in this environment, in this atmosphere, you have to understand I'm looking for somebody I can trust. I want to be able to have a soft place to lay my head as well. Right. You want me to, not only regulate my emotions, but regulate yours too. You want me to listen to you without judgment. You want me to give you those strong arms and things like that. Well, we want the same thing.
Right.
It's really just take your own advice. Take the things that you want. Right. Reciprocate it back to us. But what happens a lot of times, Jazzy, is that, and I'm not bashing women when I say this. This is just the reality of it. A lot of times, women will look at men and go, you know what? Why don't you open up to me? Well, factor in, life has already beat me up. Life has already showed me that I can't trust people.
Right.
So I am thinking to myself, like, are you going to take this and use it against me? Because for one, before you came along, there was 100 different other people that did this to me. So regardless if we have that sort of relationship or not, I still don't know if I can trust you.
Right.
Right?
That's true.
I don't even know if I can trust myself. Right? So I'm already skeptical.
Right.
So there's things if you want that environment to open up, check it out. If you're going to create that atmosphere for me to come in and be vulnerable, for one, be patient with me. This is a foreign path that I've never walked before.
Right.
2, allow me the time to talk. Don't interrupt me. Don't make it about you, because that happens a lot of times too. Right? 3, just because you're ready to talk doesn't mean that I'm ready to talk. Don't push me.
Right.
Because anytime, now those are 3 main things. If you go against any of those things with a man will close up and you'll never get that man to talk ever again. As a matter of fact, men are so simple that and so defensive in that area. Once you do those things, if I'm in a relationship with you, I'm already planning my exit. I no longer will be the man that you think. I will figure out a way to survive this relationship. I will no longer figure out how to love you. I will learn how to handle you in order to survive what you've just done to me, because you've just put yourself in the same category and proved to me
everybody else.
Again, you're just like everybody else. I'm planning my exit because I have to do what's necessary to keep myself safe and keep myself from being hurt yet again. And if that means that I have to close off certain parts of me, I will do that. Why? Because now I can't trust you. You've just violated one of, if not all 3, one of those 3 or 2 of those 3. Tell me what I'm supposed to do with that. Your mouth is saying you can trust me. Your actions just said you can't.
Wow.
I'm listening to you, but I'm watching what you do.
Right.
They don't match up. Oh yeah, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to protect myself than to subject myself to betrayal
Mm-hmm.
yet again. I would rather live a life of loneliness than to keep being disappointed by the people that say that they love me.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
if you're going to do something like that, commit yourself to it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that it takes time.
Something you said, brings up a question for me that ain't on my list. Okay. So when you say as a man, you watch what people say versus hearing what they say. You watch what people do.
Mhm.
I go, I look at you and I categorize you, or I trust you based on your actions, not your words, right?
Mhm.
In my experience, I'm almost, I'll be 40 this year in June. Okay. In my almost 40 years, men are more susceptible and more prone to um categorize or compartmentalize a person based on their actions versus their words.
Mhm.
Women, on the other hand, we sometimes hold on to the things that you say
Mhm.
versus the your actions until it gets to a point to where we've been heartbroken so much that we have to learn, we have to go through this lesson over and over and over again until it's like, okay, it clicks after the 20th time. Let me start looking at their actions versus their words. Why is it, do you feel so easier for men to move based on action versus the women, versus being based on words, if you get what I'm
Mhm.
asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, women base a lot of things on emotion,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Men base everything on logic. Life teaches us listen to what they say, but trust what they do.
Right.
Reason being, right? When women are looking for someone of interest,
Mm-hmm.
you already became emotionally invested in that person
Mm-hmm.
because you're looking for someone who can help regulate your emotions as well. Is this
Right.
person going to be a good mate? Can he provide? Can he protect? Can he keep my emotions in check too? Because I may have a crazy moment, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to test you every step of the way because I need to know that you can deal with me,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Men, on the other hand, life has beat us up so much. From the first time that someone says, "Hey, that's not being a man. You're going to have to man up," and things like that. Well, we listen to what you say because those same people that say that, they turn around and do exactly what they tell you not to do.
Mm.
Ever since we're a child. So it's inbred in us.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what they say, pay attention to what they
To what
do,
they do.
because now we have to model what that looks like, what a man looks like through that right there.
Mm-hmm.
So then early on, we realize that people are lying to us. Now, I'm 50 years old, right? And I've been
You look
through a
good,
lot of,
Tony. You look
I
good, man.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. You as well. I was like, oh, girl, you're 40 years old. All right. I feel you. Yeah. So you now compound that in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get up and go to a job that we don't like because somebody says you're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, if you're gonna provide, you might want
You
to
gotta
have to do
work.
the things that you gotta work, right?
Right.
So we get up every day and we go to a job that we don't like in order to do that. Now the protection part comes in because life is going to beat up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to learn how to fight back, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's usually from the people that you're around. From the time that we're a little kid, it's a rite of passage. You're going to have to learn how to chunk these right here, right? You're going to have to learn how to deal with the bully, the one that's beating, you know what I'm saying, that's talking down to you. You're going to have to learn how to endure all of those different things. Now,
Right.
that's just a small portion.
Mm-hmm.
What about the people out there that don't care about you,
Mm-hmm.
right? On
Mm-hmm.
a day-to-day basis? What about the struggles and the worries that you're going to start piling upon your shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
right? Am I good enough in this world? And how is people viewing me? The people that talk behind your back, ooh, right? It's normally the people that smile in your face. Right? So
Right.
now you have to navigate that too. Right? What about if you live the sort of life that I live of being in the gangs? Life is now teaching you how to survive.
Right.
Because the people that are around you be the same ones that try to kill you. Now compile that with the people that you're going to lose along the way. Friends, family. You got to keep all of that in. Because the first time that you show weakness, somebody's going to take your head off. Oh, that's a hard one right there, right? What about the people that's going to backstab you? Now you got trust issues. What about the relationships that you're in? That the failed ones. You got to navigate that too. So it's a combination of those things. That when we do get and find someone and we're going into a healthy relationship, we don't even know what that looks like.
Right.
It's the compilation of lies, the mistrust, the betrayal, right? That life has taught us. You might want to be careful. So we question, can I trust you? Or is this going to be just another one that I'm going to have to navigate this logically? This is why men pay attention to we pay attention to what you say, but we observing what you do. If something don't match, men are very fragile. I'm out. I'm not dealing with this. You just gave me a red flag that I just had with all the rest of them. You just told me the same things that I've heard 1,000 times over from the people that's just like you. Only difference is the face change. So, okay, no. I'm out. Why would I do that to myself? No.
Right.
Women are already like, I like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm vibing with you and things like that. And then in the same sense, you're going out there hanging out at the strip club or at the clubs with your girls. You're not looking for somebody to lead you. You're already emotionally invested. So when things don't go the way that you think that they should go, oh, now I got to be the villain in your story. I'm gonna tell you something about men. 98% of the men are willing to be the villain in your story because we're not looking to change the narrative. Because if that's what it takes, okay, yeah, you're going to have a totally different story as that man.
Right.
Both of them are going to be true to the person who's telling the story, and to anyone that's willing to listen. And if you're going to go to your girlfriends, you're going to go to your family members, you're going to tell that story. I just became the bad guy in everybody else's story. And it didn't be that way. So I'm going to take to that.
So with that being said, what do you feel like is the difference from moving forward and just moving on? Or do you think there's a difference? Like what go ahead. I'm sorry.
They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Because moving forward as a man, I have to move forward. I can't wallow in this right here. Right? Is it going to suck? Is it going to hurt? Yeah, but you'll never know.
Right.
Perception versus reality. Now, moving on, meaning I'm at a point in my life now, I am emotionally aware. I do have the emotional intelligence to understand and regulate, right? I can sit down. Now, here's the difference. Moving on, meaning I can heal. I understand that. I don't have to hold on to this, right? I'm going to look at that and I'm going to assess myself, not you, right? I'm going to, was I the man that I'm supposed to be? If the answer is no, then I need to regulate that. I need to correct that. Did I do everything that I was supposed to do as that man? If the answer is no, then I need to go back in and I need to hold myself accountable. Then I'm going to forgive. I'm not going to ask you for forgiveness. I'm going to forgive myself for not being a person that you needed. And I'm going to accept the role that I've now had to take on in your life as the villain.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to come back in and correct you because you have every right to be upset with me if I didn't do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move on. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Moving forward, meaning that I'm going to take this with me, and I'm going to be upset at the things that I should have paid attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to take accountability for the things that you need to do in order for you to become a better woman, it's on you. If not, that's still on you. I got nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, yeah, I'm going to heal. Because for one, I don't want to pour that out over to the next person that may be a better fit for me. I understand. I don't want to put them in the same category as you because they're not you.
Right.
So it's not fair for me to do that to the next person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I'm going
Right.
to take that time and I'm going to be alone. I'm going to do the work that is necessary so I can become a better version of myself.
Do you feel like grief can challenge a man in his faith walk?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's
How?
supposed to. Look,
Mm-hmm.
one of the hardest things that I had to do is bury my son at the age of 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think I had a really good relationship with God.
Right.
God taught me how to be the man that I am.
Mm-hmm.
My son taught me how to be a father.
Right.
See, I didn't have any role models I didn't have anyone teaching me how to be a man. So I had to model what I did behind my faith and what God had given me before this happened. And God did. And I knew I wanted that love for my son. I wanted that love for my fellow men and women out here in the world. I wanted that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And as a man, I was like, man, that good stuff. God loves me this much. He loves me this. Okay, I think I better pay attention. So every day I got up and I was like, God, I want to become a better man in the world.
Right.
Because I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
And God taught me how to forgive. God taught me how to walk, how to respect myself, how to redevelop morals, right? To have the strength to endure what the world was going to put upon me. God taught me humility and humbleness, right? But that was only the first part. When he took my son away from me, I didn't understand it. I said, why would you do this to me? Why? You're the one person that I could trust, and yet you still hurt me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you hurt me like this?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he took my mother away from me, I said, God, I don't think I want to talk to you anymore. You'd have left me as an orphan in this world. Again, I'm out here alone again.
Right.
I did everything that you asked me to do. Why would you do this to me? See, I didn't understand what he was doing. I didn't. Then God revealed something to me. It took me a little bit to want to trust him again. It took me a little bit to heal from the things that he had revealed to me, right? But then he gave me something in return through the pain and through the trauma. One was accountability. One was forgiveness. One was love. It was a gift that he given me through that I was able to look at and go, I like that. God, can you forgive me for not trusting you, for the things I didn't understand?
Right.
can you help me to understand this beautiful gift that you've given me?
Mm-hmm.
And through humility, I said, God, can you help me be the servant that I'm supposed to be? So
Mm.
yeah, it tested my faith in so many different ways. I was so upset.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I was hurt because the one person that I, I trusted
Mm-hmm.
was the one who hurt me the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But in turn, through that hurt, he said, I had to hurt you because you didn't want to listen to me. And I was trying to give you this gift, but in order for that gift to come out, I had to break you open so you can see what I put inside of you.
Ooh.
You have a beautiful gift. In order for you to do what you need to do in
Mm-hmm.
this world,
Mm-hmm.
I had to bring that out of you. Now, you may not understand it, but you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you fix your eyes on me, if
Mm-hmm.
you follow me, don't pay attention to nothing else around you,
Mm-hmm.
I got something for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he tested my faith. And I was upset with him. I was upset with God.
Right.
But then he gave me this. And I went, we could have talked about this. We could have talked about this. Now I walk within that, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
walk within that. I walk within that beauty. I walk within the understanding of this life now, this
Mm-hmm.
connection with people. See, God took away my family, but then he gave me something different.
Mm.
He took away my biological family and
Mm-hmm.
helped me create a family in grief
Okay.
and helped me to connect with people on a deeper human level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
That right there, that
Yeah.
right there was everything that I had ever wanted because it gave me purpose
Mm-hmm.
in this path. And he humbled me to become a student. And now, now doing the things that I do now, being able to work with men and having this deep embedded understanding of life and grief and death and
Mm-hmm.
trauma and the healing process that has to go along with it, but
Right.
also helping me understand that there's similarities between men and women, but there's
Mm-hmm.
also the things that we may not understand. I
Right.
can step in and go, hey, let's let me walk with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
And
walk
and
with you.
and in that, just kind of trying to, just about to close it out with my final question. With you, being the author of Men Grieve Too, and you also the author of an international bestseller,
Mhm.
two, nonprofit organizations,
Mhm.
being a global grief coach, for people across the nations.
Mhm.
If your book could hold the hand of a man or be held in the hand of a man that is standing at the edge of his grief, on the verge of being consumed by it, what would be the thing that you would whisper to him in his darkest moment?
Take one more step. This book that's in your hand was written by people just like you. You're not by yourself.
Yeah.
Take one more step. Just one more. And see, and the reason why I would say that, because that one step can be filled with grace. It can be filled with your version of rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It can be filled with humbleness or humility. It can be filled with negative talk. It can be filled with forgiveness. And it can be filled with healing.
Yeah.
All at the same time. Just take one more step. And when you do that, look over to your left and look over to your right. I may be standing there with you. Because for one, you just let me whisper in your ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sense?
That makes sense.
It's so much deeper than just that, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm standing on one of these sides with you because you
Mhm.
allowed me to get that close to you to whisper in your
Right.
ear to say, take one more step.
Yes.
And when you start to crumble, look over.
Hmm.
Look over. I'm sitting down with you. You want to rest a little bit? I got you.
Yeah.
But take one more step, please.
Yeah.
Don't make a permanent decision to a temporary problem because you don't understand it. You've let me get this far with you. Take one more step with me.
Mm. Mm.
That's all I ask. Just take one more step with me. That's
Wow. Um, and on that note, I don't have any more questions for you, Mr. Tony. Because if I ask you anything else, I'm gonna cry. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it right there. But can you please let everyone know how to follow you, how to purchase your products, if they want to get into? I don't know if you have a coaching program. How can they contact you? Give all your information for everyone here.
Yeah, most definitely. People can follow me on my social medias. It's pretty simple. Tony Lynch on, Facebook and LinkedIn. They can find me on Instagram as Men's Grief Support. They can go to my website, www.mensgriefsupport.org. I won't look. One thing about me is that I will not let people donate to me. So don't come in there thinking you're going to donate to my nonprofit. I don't want your money, right?
Okay.
Everything I do, I give away for free. So for those men out there, they can. I have a program called Resilience. So I wrote this program. It's a 12-week program to help these men navigate the world of grief, trauma, mental health, and addiction. And it's a very intense program. So if you want to do that, it's free to come, and we do it virtually as well as in person.
Mhm.
And so, if that's what you're looking for, come on in. We welcome everybody. Far as the book, Men Grieve Too, I was given this beautiful opportunity to be a part of this anthology. You can go to lulu.com, Tony Lynch, pick the book up there. My first book, Relentless, Empowering Stories of Overcoming Grief, which is another anthology of people just like myself. And they can find that on Amazon. They can go there and pick up that. Other than that, I have a magazine that people can download called Grief Talk Magazine. And, it's exactly what it is. It's the first ever magazine dedicated to grief, trauma, mental health, and all the things that come in between with people who wrote articles. We have resources as far as other podcasting. We showcase events that are in there. But it's also a great source for people looking for support across the world.
Mhm.
Also, if you're a grief practitioner and you're looking for a place to call home around and be surrounded by other people, find me at the Global Grief Network, on Facebook or LinkedIn. Come and connect with other people as well. Let's see, my podcast. I'm the host of the Grief Let's Talk About It podcast. You can find me on YouTube. I do a podcast every day. So, great conversations with some amazing people, but also it serves a purpose of connecting you with resources from people who not only walk the walk but talk the talk. These people are out here doing some amazing things, changing people's lives one heartbeat at a time.
Mhm.
And so everything I do is in service to other people.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for good things from some amazing people, come check me out. And let me connect you with the people that can actually help you.
Awesome, amazing. Well, I want to thank you again for your time. Thank you so much for coming to the Fly Show, where again, y'all know the Fly stands for First Love You. It has been an honor and a privilege to sit and talk with you and just to get into, how men and also women can navigate this thing called grief and how it is not a taboo subject. It is something that we have to deal with in life. Grief can come through the loss of a person, the loss of a relationship, or the loss of a job. It looks like so many different things. So thank you so much for just being with me on this episode. I greatly, greatly appreciate your time and I enjoy every second of it. So thank you again so much.
The pleasure was mine. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
You are so welcome. And with that being said, this has been another episode of The F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. Y'all have a great evening. And remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. Y'all have a good one and see you next week. Good night.
Great one. Bye.
Well, gotta open up your heart so the Holy Spirit can't dwell in it. Ain't leaving room for no voice in this.